A buddy of mine, he said, you got into investing into short-term rentals because it's making a lot of money and you're trying to get FU money, but really you bought F me money because you just bought yourself another job. So really think about strategy and exit. Like, how are you going to exit out of this to be a lot more passive?
No, those are great.
Welcome to the STR Home Financing Podcast, where we believe a legacy is something you build, not just something you leave behind. And now, here's your host, Jeff Chisum.
Hey, this is Jeff Chisum with STR Home Financing. Welcome to another segment of 3 things that you should know. I am very excited to have Alex Sabio on with us today. And I've known Alex for a while, been a part of the things that he's been doing in the community, and happy to have him on today. Alex, let's jump into it. 10 minutes or less
Let's do
is
it.
our format. Yeah. So who you are, what makes you human, family, where you live, what have you done? What's your background related to short-term rental, and what are you doing? What do you bring to the short-term community? And I know you've got some other things that you're doing in the commercial space, so feel free to share that.
Sure. Alex Sabio, married father of 4, live here in Southern California. What doesn't make me unique is I'm like a lot of other people out there that I work a W-2 full-time in healthcare, and I'm investing in real estate. So I always tell people, don't let your job slow you down from your investments. You can do it too. What does make me human and relatable to everyone else is I've made a ton of mistakes along the way, and I'm very open to all of that. In 2008, I invested in a property as a long-term rental here in Southern California and was losing money hand over fist, wound up having a foreclosure and bankruptcy. And it just wasn't cash flowing enough. That's really the issue. That was really my issue. And so eventually I got into short-term rentals in 2020 after getting my feet under me, getting my finances. And so currently our portfolio, we have 6 short-term rentals, 3 in the Smoky Mountains, 3 in Gulf Shores. And we're pivoting to commercial assets. Like within a short amount of time, even if you make mistakes through real estate, you could get yourself back up. We have a 76 unit hotel that we're closing in on a couple weeks here. So yeah, that's me.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. I know someone needed to hear that today. So thank you for that. And I love, and I'm glad you mentioned the commercial, because I'm a big believer in diversification. So that is
Yes.
awesome. So yeah, you've supported a community of short-term rental investors. Let's bring it. What are 3 things that people should know about investing in short-term rental or building a portfolio of short-term rental properties?
I'm going to do something a little different because I'm sure a lot of people will say the same exact thing. But number one, there's something called ROE. So that's return on energy. And a lot of times we focus in on returns, but we're not focusing in on the amount of energy those returns are going to bring us, right? So it's easy to say, oh my gosh, this thing's going to give me a 50% cash on cash return. But shoot, what if you have to completely gut the thing, renovate it, or there's not enough contractors in the area, and how much headache? For me, I want easy money, and I'm okay with taking a little bit less ROI for a little bit more ROE. And so that's finding the right balance. So that's number one. Number 2, when you first get into this, there's a husband and wife or partners. You need to establish your roles. And we struggle with this at the beginning because you're getting into something. My wife and I were in healthcare, but we never started a business together. Who's going to handle every single task out there? And so what you need to do at the beginning is really focus in on, say, hey, you're going to handle guest communication. I'm going to handle operations. And you have to be okay with whatever they do. If not, the money's not worth it, because you're going to be at each other's throats, like you didn't answer the guest right, or you didn't handle this right. You have to just trust that person's going to do the job. And the thing is, the truth is, they're going to make mistakes along the way, but you got to give them room to grow.
That's good. And I think that would overlap into that ROE as well.
And then the third thing I want everyone to really think about is your exit strategy. And a lot of people get into the short-term rental game because the money is really good and it's easy, but they're not really thinking about the exit. A lot of times you get into this and it goes back to the ROE, that, man, you're working really hard for this money, but now you're like, I just bought myself another job. And a buddy of mine, he said, you got into investing into short-term rentals because it's making a lot of money and you're trying to get FU money, but really you bought F me money because you just bought yourself another job. So really think about strategy and exit. Like, how are you going to exit out of this to be a lot more passive? So that's the third thing I would tell people to think about.
No, those are great. Yeah, you don't always think of the goal of how do we make this easier? How can we parlay into even more passive income? So that's
Yeah.
a great word. Absolutely great. So Alex, what are 3 ways that people can connect with you and kind of what you're doing these days?
Sure, I'm ramping up my social media presence. So you could find me on Instagram. I'm always posting a lot of stuff there. Not always real estate. Like, it's me talking about being frustrated with my Los Angeles Lakers right now, or being a frustrated Cleveland Browns fan, which is kind of weird, right? Two opposite ends of the spectrum. So
Yeah.
at the real Alex Sabio on Instagram, I did create a Facebook community for healthcare professionals. So it's called Healthcare Professionals Investing in Real Estate. So during the pandemic, I was working in the hospitals with my short-term rental business, and everyone was burnt out. They were burnt out before the pandemic. And all these doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, rad techs, they all wanted to talk to me about real estate. And I just didn't have enough time. So I created a Facebook community where I could provide a lot of value to them one-on-one. And Jeff, you've been on as a featured guest. I like to bring different professionals out there, the best experts in the industry. So that's my group, Healthcare Professionals Investing in Real Estate. And I'm also starting a commercial side of it where I'm purchasing hotels and short-term rentals. And if anyone is ever interested in a really easy passive deal with great returns, you could visit our website at thewelcomefund.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Not only am I bringing experts in this space on the show, but also they have to be good people, and you meet both of those requirements. So thanks for joining us today. And until next time.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, guys.
Jeff Chisum is a registered mortgage loan officer with CMG Home Loans, NMLS ID 1820. CMG Home Loans is an equal housing lender. All programs, products, and terms discussed on this show are subject to change without notice.